morning all of you. I am Snehal Bhosle from SIT Lonala. Today I am going to teach you DLD from SEANTC. DLD is a digital logic design. So we are starting with the first unit, that is the combinational logic design. So let us see what is the definition of the combinational logic design. Combinational logic design is a circuit which output of any instant of time depends on the input applied to it at that instant of time. If you have applied any input, if it is changing, instantly output will change. This output will never depend on the previous or any other external input. So this is how the definition of the combinational logic design. So let us start with basic concepts of the combinational logic design. So in that one, first one is nothing but the SOP form. SOP is nothing but the sum of product. And the second is product of sum, that is a POS form. I'll explain this one with example. Now see, for sum of product, see the example, AB plus BC plus AC. So if you see this example, here it is sum of product terms. Okay, here if you see, this is the sum of two product sums. Similarly, it is the sum of two product sums. So that is why this is called as a sum of product. That is a SOP form. Now let us go for the POS term. So take any example, A plus B, B plus C, A plus C. Okay. Now see here. Here if you see, these terms, okay, are the product of sum. That means this is a product of these two sums. Similarly, this is a product of these two sums. Okay. So this is how these two terms, basic terms like sum of product and product of sum, are defined. Now if we see in this example, actually this example contains three variables, that is A, B, C. But here in each term, okay, at least one variable is missing. So here C is missing, here A is missing, similarly here B is missing. In this case also, if you see properly, here C, here A and here B is missing. Okay. So the next term in the POS form and SOP form is a standard SOP and standard POS. When all the literals are present in the variable, given variable, so that time it is called as a standard SOP or standard POS form. That means missing literal is C should be added in this one. Similarly, A should be added here. Then only it will become a standard SOP form or standard POS form. So let me define standard SOP. So in sum of product, in given equation, if all literals are present in each term, that time it is called as a standard SOP form. Similarly, standard POS form will be defined. So in given literal, okay, given equation of POS, if all the variables are present in each term, so that time it will become standard POS form. So we have to convert the given equation in the standard SOP or standard POS form. So let us start with the standard SOP, that how this equation will be converted into the standard SOP form. So for that there are few steps. So let us see if the given SOP equation is converted in the standard SOP equation. So here let us find out missing literal. So if you see here, missing literal is C. Here let us see how to convert a given SOP form into standard SOP form. So for converting this, find out literal in each variable. So here if we see, C is missing. So that C should be ANDed with missing literal and its complement. Okay. So if you see, C plus C bar is 1. So there will not there won't be any change in the given equation. Similarly here in the next, A is missing, so A will be ANDed with its complement with the given literal. Similarly for the AC, B is missing. Okay, so this is how the equation will become. So now let us expand the equation. So it will become ABC plus ABC bar plus ABC again plus A bar BC plus ABC and plus AB bar C. Okay. So here if we see ABC plus ABC, so it will become again ABC. Again it will be added in the ABC. So this equivalent of these three terms are only one single ABC. So A, B, C plus A, B, C bar plus A bar, B, C and plus A, B bar, C. So this is the standard solve of the given equation. So similarly we can find out a standard POS form. So again I'll give an example of a normal POS form here and let us see how it will be converted into the standard POS form. Again I will repeat, in standard SOP or standard POS form, all literals should be present in each given term. So here let us take an example of a POS. So A plus B and A bar plus C. Now let us see how this equation will be converted into the standard POS form. So here which term is missing? C. So that term A plus B should be odd with its complement with the given literal. So this is how this one will be odd. So if we see C into C bar is 0, so it will not make any change in the given equation. Similarly in the next one B is missing, so A bar plus C and I am ORing B and complement of B bar with the given literal. So let us expand this one. So it will become A plus B plus C. I am using the Boolean algebra for this. A plus B plus C bar, A bar plus B plus C and A bar plus B bar plus C. Okay. So this is how no term is repeated. So that is why the equation will be taken as it is. Now this one is become standard POS form of the given equation. So these two equations, the standard SOP and standard POS form, are very important for reduction purpose. So we are going to learn the significance of SOP form and POS form. So for that we are going to write down a truth table or a table for the min terms and the max term. So standard SOP form is called as a min term, whereas standard POS form is called as a max term. So table has to be prepared for it. So let us do it for the three variable. So variable we are taking here A, B, C. So let us find out the min term of the ABC. Similarly max term. Again I'll repeat, min term is nothing but the standard SOP form and max term is nothing but the standard POS form. So min term is represented as small m, whereas max term will be represented as a capital M. Okay. So here let us start with all the cases for the ABC. ABC is 0, 0, 0. So it will be represented in terms of min term as M0 is equal to A bar, B bar, C bar. And max term for 0, 0, 0 is represented as capital M0 is equal to A plus B plus C. So see, this we are going to take the De Morgan's law. The bar is not written here because by default we are assuming the max term is always in the complement form of the min term. So that is why the bar or complement is not represented over here. So let us go for the next term. So that is 0, 0, 1. M1 is equal to A bar, B bar, C, whereas M1 for the max term will become A plus B plus C bar. Then 0, 1, 0, it is M2 and this is nothing but the A bar, B, C bar, and M2 here will become A plus B bar plus C. All the terms of in the complement form we are using De Morgan's law for it. So 0, 1, 1, that is M3 and it will become A bar, B, C, and M3 here will become A plus B bar plus C bar. Similarly we can write down for all 8 cases. So last case is 1, 1, 1 here. So this is nothing but the M7 and it will be written as A, B, C, whereas for the max term it will be written as M7 is equal to A bar plus B bar plus C bar. Actually why we are going for the min terms and max term? Just for the simplification purpose. So whenever we write an example, suppose I want to write example like A plus B bar plus C into a plus b bar plus c into a bar plus b bar plus c bar. Instead of writing such a long equation, what could be written? I can write down directly the max term is nothing but the m2 comma m3 comma m7, or it will be directly written as 2 comma 3 comma 7.